Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of The Road to Glory. This is going to be episode number 61. So, what I've got for you today is we're going to go on a little daily knockout tournament run. And the squad has had to take a little bit of a different shape. Well, we've had to change only a couple of players and our entire subs bench because this was recorded on Tuesday, which was the last day of the daily knockout tournament where the requirements had a maximum rating of 80 with a minimum player level of silver. So I couldn't quite, by putting as low rated silvers as possible on the bench, I couldn't quite get my whole beastly team in. But what happened was I put Goretzka in instead of Vidal. I still had Alaba in and I was like one rating short. So I went to see what German left backs I could get, spotted the guy in my team who actually has a decent amount of pace and is quite tall and stuff. Saw that he was around sort of 7,000 coins, but one had popped up for 2,200, so I snapped him up instantly, and I knew that that had then created my team, and I can pretty much go into the daily knockout tournament with the level of squad, which is very, very similar to my normal team, just with Goretzka instead of Vidal, who, let's face it, Goretzka's amazing on this game, and then, yeah, we might miss out a little bit not having Alaba, but generally everyone else's teams are going to be a little bit lower rated anyway. So this guy, he had a full gold team, full Brazilian squad, so it was obvious that pretty much everyone now understands that when it tells you that you need a level of team, that you can just put like the minimum requirement all along your bench. It's effectively like bronze benching or whatnot, but for me, it allows me to nearly use my normal squad in this tournament with the requirements that are set. So I'm fine with doing that, and I expected to come up against squads that were sort of level to mine, and yeah, my squad was definitely better than my first opponent. Especially because we've got one silver to bring down that rating so much that we can actually use the rest of our good players. So what you're seeing here is like 100% pass accuracy right off the bat. I'm tackling my opponent straight away. I'm getting through. We scored straight off of kickoff to begin with. I then won the ball back and it's 5 minutes on the clock and I've scored again. Just some really, really good passing. Now, after coming off the back of this Barcelona trip where I've watched the first competitive esports tourney for FIFA this year, I was obviously watching a lot of games of FIFA, and these guys are unreal at the game, and it's kind of like I sat there in Barcelona really wanting to play FIFA, and that's kind of not what I expected to be like, you know, because generally I'll do all my work and then, you know, FIFA's become a job. It's not something that in my spare time I necessarily play because, you know, that's what I do for a job, and then you separate your job from your social life, and whereas a lot of you guys would play FIFA as a hobby, I do it for a job pretty much not as a hobby anymore, which is, I don't know, a little bit sad sometimes, but yeah, it's definitely not something that I do in my spare time, but I found myself really wanting to play FIFA because the teams at their disposal and everything that was going on at this weekend just made me think, Christ, these guys are really good. I wish I could try and replicate that. So I was really working on playing the correct passes, trying to slow my game down but play the correct style, and then trying to work on the defense as well. And we went 100% pass accuracy, 4-0 within like a few minutes of that first game before the guy quit. So I was pretty happy with our start. I've got to say, even after an internet a reset up of my wireless internet, or I'm wired, but a restart of my internet, I was still getting a relative amount of button delay in the daily knockout tournament, and it wasn't during peak hours or anything. I was playing during the day on Tuesday, so I don't know if is that someone who might know, you guys out there, someone might know these dedicated servers. I understand that it's like a central point, but do both ends of the internet need to be good for like me and my opponent? Otherwise, we'll see lag or button delay. I still don't really understand how it works. I'd be quite interested to know. But yeah, I was playing all right with the slight delay, trying to get my passes off nicely, and obviously within that first game did really well, 100% pass accuracy. And then 24 minutes into this game, I'm 2-0 up, and I'm feeling pretty confident. Like, I'm actually playing some really nice FIFA, and where I normally aggressively run in to defend people with whatever the closest player is to me, I was watching the pros, and they're trying to read the game a bit more. They're not necessarily going to close in that player, not with the first controlled player anyway. They're pressing RB to send a second player to close down that ball. What they're doing is pulling that player who's slightly further back and then trying to block a pass or intercept or read where the pass is going to go and then make that interception from there. So it's something that I've definitely been, in the few games that I've played since I've been back, trying to learn how to do a bit more. Very difficult. They make it look super simple and it just isn't. But yeah, loads of efforts going to be going in over the next few weeks for me to try and improve my game. So that should be good, you know. And, you know, we're 3-0 up in this game, and I'm almost cruising. I'm doing really well. Didn't expect to... These were like my first games back after not playing for a few days. Didn't expect to come back with rage quit straight away. You know, 3-0 up in this second game here, looking likely to score more and cause more rage quits. So pretty positive. But then again, these people might be using teams that are nowhere near as good as their regular team. I don't know. But Mahrez whips the shot, forces a good save out of Ederson from the resulting corner. I mean, it just falls to Boateng, and I can't not score from that situation. So I'll take the goal. It's 4-0 again, just like that first match. It took a little bit longer to get there this time, but you are going to notice that my opponent does pause the game and decides that he's had enough as well. When there's less than half the game to go and there's a 4-goal lead, yeah, you can understand why someone would quite easily rage quit and just move on. There's so many, you get so many attempts in the daily knockout tournament that you might as well just move on at that point, start fresh and go into the game again. We then get matched up in the semi-final against someone who has got what I imagine his full team is very similar to mine when he's not got the silver players in it. You can see the triangle there with Barman in goal, Pogba at right centre mid. That seems pretty similar to what we've got, but he's obviously got a couple of players on the bench and stuff, and has had to put a few silvers in place in order to get to that 80 rating, which was required. Obviously it's not today. You guys can use whatever team you want. There's no requirements for Wednesday and Thursday, but it was, as I said, this was all played on Tuesday, and this was definitely a tougher game. My opponent was actually attacking me, which was not something that the first two opponents had done a huge amount of. So again, this was a nice test for my defending. And I've got to say, I was very rusty at it, not doing a great job, but you know, you got to give me time. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. But it's kind of end-to-end. Both teams are getting a few chances. Heung-min Son smashes the bar with a header from a near-post corner, which was super successful for the pros at the weekend, especially when Cristiano Ronaldo is front post. He was scoring all sorts of front post headers, so I've been trying to do them, obviously, as much as possible. And you can tell, you get a little bit of luck, you know. The header's either going to go in the back of the net, the keeper's going to save it and parry it out to the unrunning someone in the box, or it's going to come off the post or the bar and it's just going to fly in off one of your players. So that is definitely the way to go with corners, unless of course you like to play it short and then work your way into the box. I think that's another strategy as well. But it didn't take long after that first goal for us to rework it, pass it nicely and get a second goal for the team, and first goal of the game for Riyad Mahrez. Heung-min Son then playing the ball around, and as you can see here, I'm not trying to like thread it through to that final player unnecessarily. I'm trying to work the space, he's got a lot of defenders around in the box. I've got to have that clear shot on goal before I actually take the shot, which is not something I normally do. I'll try and get that shot off as early as possible with my normal gameplay and normal game style. So again, trying to just work it around a little bit more correctly and take my time with things and get that really good attempt on goal rather than something which is going to end up not going in the back of the net. We get a third rage quit in a row, guys. 3-0. I've not conceded all the way up to the final, and I've had 3 rage quits. We've scored 4, 8, 11 goals in 3 games, and we've had 3 rage quits. And then I get mashed up against this in the final. Oh no. Obviously, with a team like that, he's done exactly what I've done on the bench, you know. 65 rated silvers, as low as you can possibly get, in order to use a crazy team that he's got. He's also put in a few of the lower rated Bundesliga players like Vogt at centre-back and stuff like that. But then he's gone next level and stuck stat cards on loads and loads and loads of the players. And I find myself 1-0 down after 16 minutes. Because it felt like I was just up against a super team, which, when you look at it, he's got a couple of prime icons. He's got Pogba. You know, it's an all right team. It's something that I could definitely beat. But yeah, I feel like the added speed and just generally crazy stats that you have across the board when you have someone with a plus 10 attributes or a plus 6 attributes or whatever on, can definitely make the difference sometimes. And I tweeted about this at the time, like, I feel like if you go into the weekend league and you're not allowed stat cards, then I don't think you should really be allowed them in the daily knockout tournament either, because it gives these guys like a false sense of hope. Like, if this guy comes away with a win today, he's not going to be able to use his stat cards in the weekend league. But yeah, so I don't know about stat cards. I don't know where I stand with them. I used to kind of like using them for specific videos to make players like a super player. But I don't know. Every now and again, like this FIFA, I feel like they should almost just be wiped. Don't put them in packs. I don't think anyone really needs them anymore. I don't think they serve a great purpose apart from pissing a lot of people off. So I got 1 goal back, and then I conceded a counter from a corner kick where one of his players who didn't have a stat card on, which was Luis Hernandez Prime Icon, was able to keep composed, outmuscle my defender, and stick it over the goalkeeper into the back of the net. And fair enough, that was a lovely goal. It's just a shame that it comes from a counter from a corner kick. So I'm 3-1 down, and we're in the second half. I've not got any substitutes to bring on because, just like my opponent, we've both maximised our starting 11, but we don't have anything to bring on as like an impact sub. And maybe that could be an important factor in this game, because we all know how good subs are from like the 60th, 70th minute. But I get one back, and we've got 20 minutes left in this game, and I play that ball across there, and I swear I pressed shoot, but he didn't hit it first time. He takes a terrible first touch, and it goes straight into the goalkeeper's hands. And from there on out, I started to get desperate. The old ways of how I've been playing, where I take a lot of long shots, hit shots which don't have a huge amount of chance of actually going in the back of the net. All of that stuff started to creep back in as I was getting more and more desperate to clinch this game, to get back in this game. And yeah, as you can see, we end up getting beat 3-2 in the final. The stats are very similar, like actually very similar. He had a little bit more possession, but we had roughly the same amount of shots, had a couple more on target. Like, it could have gone either way, but we were just beaten at the end there, which was very unfortunate. But I'll go again later on in the week when any requirements go. We'll bring Alaba back, we'll bring Vidal back into the team, and of course have our super subs along the bench that we can bring on whenever we want for an impact sub type feel. So unfortunately, we haven't made it today. We didn't get the gold pack, we didn't get the coins, we didn't get qualification for the weekend league, but there's always next time. I do hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know, did you play in that daily knockout tournament? If so, what squad did you use? Or are you the sort of person that needed to use your normal squad and you've waited until Wednesday, Thursday? I want to know down below in the comment section. Do me a favour, hit that thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a great day, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.